The day two identical women walked into the same hospital room, their mother knew the secret she buried for 25 years was about to destroy her life. The hospital room was quiet. Machines beeped softly beside an old woman lying in bed. Her name was Mama Grace. She was sick, weak, and afraid. Suddenly, the door opened. A young woman stepped inside. She was tall, dark skin, sharp eyes. Her name was Amara. She looked at the old woman with anger. "Are you Mama Grace?" Amara asked. The old woman nodded slowly. "Yes, who are you?" Amara stepped closer. "My name is Amara." The old woman's face changed. Fear appeared in her eyes. But before she could speak again, the door opened a second time. Another woman walked inside. Everyone froze. Because the second woman looked exactly like Amara. Same face, same eyes, same voice. The second woman spoke first. "My name is Nia." Amara turned slowly and stared at her. The room became silent. Mama Grace began to shake. "No, no, this cannot be happening," she whispered. Amara looked between Nia and the old woman. "You know something," Amara said coldly. Nia stepped closer too. "We both received the same message," Nia said. "A message that said our real mother is dying in this hospital." Mama Grace started crying. "I never wanted this day to come." Amara slammed her hand on the table. "Then tell us the truth." 25 years earlier, in a small hospital in Lagos, a poor woman gave birth to twin baby girls. But Mama Grace was not just poor. She was greedy. At that same hospital, a rich businessman and his wife were crying. Their baby had died during birth. They were desperate. They wanted a child. The businessman approached Mama Grace. "I will give you a lot of money," he said quietly. "Give us one of your babies." Mama Grace looked at the money. More money than she had ever seen. For a moment, she felt guilt. Then greed won. She gave one baby away. She kept the other. The rich family raised the baby as their own. They named her Nia. The other baby grew up in poverty with Mama Grace. Her name was Amara. But Mama Grace told Amara a lie for years. "Your twin sister died at birth." Back in the hospital room, Amara's voice trembled with anger. "You sold your own child?" Mama Grace cried harder. "I was poor. I had no choice." Nia shook her head. "That is a lie." "I grew up in a rich house," she said. "But last week I found secret adoption papers." She looked directly at Mama Grace. "You didn't give me away because you were poor. You sold me." Amara felt her whole world breaking. "All these years," she whispered. Mama Grace tried to reach them. "I thought I would never see you together." But Amara stepped back. "You destroyed our lives." Nia looked at her sister for the first time with sadness. "We lost 25 years because of her." But the biggest shock had not come yet. Nia took out a small envelope. "I didn't come here only for the truth," she said. She placed the envelope on the table. "I came because of this." Amara opened it. Inside was a DNA report and a photograph of another woman. Amara looked confused. "This woman, who is she?" Nia's voice became very serious. "That woman is the nurse who helped our mother sell me." Amara frowned. "So?" Nia took a deep breath. "She died last week. And before she died, she left a message." Amara looked up. "What message?" Nia said slowly, "Our mother didn't sell just one baby. She tried to sell both of us." Mama Grace screamed. "No." The sisters stared at her in shock. And the truth was about to become even darker. The hospital room felt colder. Amara looked at her mother with disbelief. "You tried to sell both of us?" Mama Grace covered her face. "That is not the full story." Nia crossed her arms. "Then tell it." Mama Grace's voice shook. "That nurse, her name was Helen. She told me rich families sometimes come to hospitals looking for babies." Amara felt sick. "You were planning to sell us before we were even born?" Mama Grace cried. "I was desperate. Your father had left me. I had no money." Nia spoke sharply. "So you became a baby seller?" Mama Grace looked up with red eyes. "I only sold one child. But the nurse wanted both." Amara frowned. "What happened?" Mama Grace swallowed hard. "The rich businessman wanted only one baby. The nurse was angry because she wanted more money, so she tried to secretly take the second baby too. Amara's heart started racing. And? Mama Grace whispered, I fought her. I ran away with you. Amara felt confused. For years, she believed her sister was dead. Now she was standing in front of her. And the truth kept changing. Nia looked carefully at Mama Grace. You are still hiding something. Mama Grace stayed silent. Nia took another paper from the envelope. This is Helen's final letter. She read slowly. The mother thinks she saved the second baby, but she does not know the real truth. Amara's hands began shaking. What truth? Nia looked directly into her eyes. The night we were born, there were 3 babies in that room. Amara blinked. What? Mama Grace suddenly started breathing fast. No, don't say it. Nia continued. The nurse wrote that 1 baby disappeared that night. Amara felt chills. A 3rd baby? Nia nodded slowly. And the nurse believed someone else took that baby. Silence filled the room. Amara whispered, Are you saying we have another sister? Mama Grace began crying loudly. I never knew where that baby went. Amara stepped back in shock. For 25 years, she believed she had no sister. Now she had possibly 2. Nia folded the letter. There is more. Amara sighed. What else could be worse than this? Nia's face became serious. The nurse wrote one last sentence before she died. Amara waited. Nia read it quietly. If the twins ever find the truth, they should look for the man who arranged everything. Amara frowned. What man? Nia looked at her with fear. The same rich businessman who adopted me. Amara felt confused. But he just wanted a child. Nia shook her head slowly. No, he wanted something else. Amara's heart pounded. What? Nia's voice dropped to a whisper. He has been looking for the second twin for years. The room became silent again. Amara whispered, Why would a rich man search for me for 25 years? Nia looked terrified. That is exactly what we are about to find out. And outside the hospital window, a black car was already waiting. Inside the car sat an old, powerful man. Watching the hospital entrance waiting for both twins, outside the hospital, the black car engine was still running. Inside the car sat an old man in an expensive suit. His name was Victor Kane. He was the same rich businessman who adopted Nia 25 years ago. But he was not alone. Next to him sat a tall man with dark glasses. Victor looked at the hospital entrance. They're together now, he said calmly. The tall man nodded. What do you want us to do, sir? Victor smiled slowly. Nothing yet. Let them learn the truth first. Back inside the hospital room, Amara paced across the floor. Her mind was racing. You are telling me that the man who raised you has been looking for me all these years? Nia nodded. Yes, but I never knew why. Amara looked at Mama Grace. Did you know this man? Mama Grace wiped her tears. Yes. Amara stared at her. You knew him? Mama Grace nodded slowly. He came to the hospital with the nurse. He was the one who offered the money. Amara felt anger burning in her chest. So he bought my sister. Nia spoke softly. At the time, I thought he saved me. She looked down at the floor. I had the best schools. Big house. Cars. Guards. Amara laughed bitterly. And I grew up hungry. The room became quiet. Mama Grace whispered, I know I hurt you. Amara turned toward her sharply. Hurt us? You destroyed 2 lives. Suddenly, the hospital door opened. A nurse stepped inside. Excuse me, she said. There is a visitor asking for you. Nia froze. For me? Yes, the nurse said. What is his name? Nia asked. The nurse looked at the paper. Mr. Victor Kane. The room went silent. Amara whispered, that man. Nia looked terrified. He is here. Mama Grace shook her head. No, this is bad. Amara frowned. Why? Mama Grace's voice became weak. Because Victor Kane never does anything for free. Footsteps echoed in the hallway. Slow, heavy, confident. Then the door opened. Victor Kane walked into the room. His eyes moved slowly between the 2 identical sisters. For a moment he said nothing. Then he smiled. Well, after 25 years, The twins are finally together. Amara stepped forward. You ruined our lives. Victor looked amused. Did I? He turned to Nia. My dear daughter, you grew up with everything. Nia's voice shook. You lied to me. Victor shrugged. I gave you a better life. Amara glared at him. And why were you searching for me? Victor's smile became darker. Because you were always part of my plan. Amara felt a chill. What plan? Victor looked at both sisters carefully. The plan your mother never understood. Mama Grace whispered in fear, please, leave them alone. Victor ignored her. Then he said something that shocked everyone. The twins were never just babies. They were an investment. Amara frowned. What does that even mean? Victor's voice became cold. You will understand soon. Then he pulled out his phone and made a call. Bring her in, he said. Amara frowned. Bring who? Victor smiled. The third baby. The hospital room exploded with shock. The door opened again. 2 security men walked inside. Between them was a young woman. She looked confused and scared. Amara stared at her. Nia stared at her. Because the girl looked strangely familiar. Not exactly like them, but similar. Very similar. Victor spoke proudly. Meet Layla. The girl looked around nervously. Why am I here? Nia's eyes widened. Is she? Victor nodded. Yes. The third baby from that hospital room. Mama Grace gasped loudly. You found her. Victor smiled. I never stopped looking. Amara stepped closer to Layla. Do you know us? She asked gently. Layla shook her head. No. They told me to come here for a meeting. Victor clapped his hands slowly. Now the family is complete. Nia looked furious. Why did you bring us together? Victor's eyes became serious. Because the 3 of you share something rare. Amara crossed her arms. We share a terrible mother. Victor laughed. No. You share something in your blood. The sisters looked confused. What do you mean? Amara asked. Victor walked closer. 25 years ago, a scientist visited that hospital. Nia frowned. A scientist? Victor nodded. He was studying rare genetic traits. Mama Grace whispered in fear, I remember him. Victor continued. He believed those twins had a very rare DNA pattern. Amara's heart started beating fast. So you bought a baby for a science experiment? Victor looked calm. Not exactly. I built a company around that DNA. Nia stared at him. You used me. Victor smiled proudly. My company makes billions today. Amara felt sick. And me? Victor looked straight into her eyes. You were the missing piece. Then he pointed at Layla. And she was the secret piece. The room went silent. Layla finally spoke. What are you talking about? Victor answered calmly. You 3 together can unlock something very powerful. Nia shook her head. You're crazy. Victor leaned closer. Without your DNA, my company collapses. Amara whispered, so you brought us here to use us again? Victor's voice became cold. No. I brought you here to make a deal. Amara narrowed her eyes. What deal? Victor smiled slowly. Work with me, and you will all become rich. Refuse. His bodyguards stepped forward. And things will become very difficult. Amara looked at her sisters. For the first time in their lives, all 3 girls stood together. And Amara said quietly, we will never help you. Victor's smile disappeared. Then you leave me no choice. Outside the hospital, more black cars arrived. Because Victor Kane had already prepared his next move. And the twins had no idea that someone inside their own family was about to betray them again. The hospital room was tense. Victor Kane stood calmly while his bodyguards moved closer. Amara looked at her sisters. Nia's eyes were full of anger. Layla looked confused and afraid. Victor spoke slowly. You have one last chance. Join my company, or your lives will become very difficult. Amara stepped forward. We are not your property. Victor sighed. You still don't understand. He snapped his fingers. One of the guards grabbed Layla's arm. Layla screamed. Let me go. Amara rushed forward. Stop. Victor raised his hand. Relax. I only need one of you. Nia shouted, You're insane. Victor looked at her. You were raised by me. You know how serious I am. Nia felt fear in her chest. She knew Victor never made empty threats. Mama Grace suddenly cried out, "Please leave them alone." Victor turned toward her. "You caused this mess." Amara glared at him. "No. You did." Victor smiled slightly. "Maybe." Then he pointed at Layla. "She comes with me." Layla struggled. "I don't even know you." Victor spoke calmly. "You will soon." Amara whispered to Nia, "We can't let him take her." Nia nodded. But before they could move, suddenly the hospital lights flickered. Then the hallway lights went dark. The entire floor lost power. People began shouting outside. Victor frowned. "What is happening?" One guard ran to the door. "Sir, the power is out." Amara saw her chance. She grabbed Layla's hand. "Run." The three sisters ran into the dark hallway. Nia pulled Amara toward the emergency stairs. "Quick!" Behind them, Victor shouted, "Stop them." Footsteps thundered in the hallway. The guards were chasing them. The sisters ran down the stairs. Layla was breathing fast. "What is happening?" Amara said quickly, "That man wants to use us." Nia opened the emergency exit door. They rushed outside into the parking lot. But the moment they stepped out, they froze. Because several black cars were waiting. Men stood beside them. Victor's men, Amara whispered, were trapped. Then suddenly, a motorcycle engine roared nearby. A young man drove toward them fast. "Get on," he shouted. Nia looked confused. "Who are you?" The man shouted again, "If you want to live, get on the bike." Behind them the guards were running closer. Amara made a quick decision. "Trust him." The three sisters jumped onto the motorcycle. The man accelerated hard. The bike sped out of the parking lot. Victor arrived seconds later. He watched the motorcycle disappear down the street. His face became cold. "Find them." One guard asked, "Who is that man?" Victor's eyes narrowed. "I think that was their father's son." The motorcycle raced through the dark streets of Lagos. Wind hit their faces. Layla held tightly to Amara. "Who is this guy?" Amara shouted over the engine, "I have no idea." After several minutes, the motorcycle stopped in a quiet alley. The young man removed his helmet. He looked about 30 years old. Strong face. Serious eyes. "My name is Kofi," he said. Nia stared at him carefully. "Why did you help us?" Kofi looked directly at Amara. "Because your father asked me to." Amara blinked in shock. "My father?" Mama Grace had always told her that her father was gone. "That's impossible," Amara said. Kofi shook his head. "Your father is alive." Nia's eyes widened. "What?" Kofi spoke quietly. "And he has been hiding for 25 years. Amara felt her heart racing. "Why would he hide?" Kofi looked serious. "Because of Victor Kane." Layla crossed her arms. "Everyone seems scared of this man." Kofi nodded. "You should be." He pulled out a small photograph. In the picture was a younger man standing beside Mama Grace. Amara stared at it. "That's my mother." Kofi nodded. "The man beside her is your father." Nia frowned. "But why would Victor hunt us for our DNA?" Kofi sighed. "Because your father was not an ordinary man." Amara whispered, "What was he?" Kofi answered slowly. "He was the scientist studying those rare genetics." The sisters froze. "The same scientist Victor mentioned," Nia said. Kofi nodded. "Yes. He discovered something powerful in your DNA." Amara felt dizzy. "So Victor stole his research?" "Yes," Kofi said. "And your father disappeared before Victor could take the rest." Layla asked, "Where is he now?" Kofi looked at the dark street. "He has been watching from the shadows." Amara whispered, "Why didn't he come to us?" Kofi's voice became heavy. "Because Victor promised to kill his daughters if he did." Silence filled the alley. Nia clenched her fists. "So our father hid to protect us." Kofi nodded. "But now everything has changed." Amara looked confused. "What changed?" Kofi looked straight into her eyes. "Victor knows the three of you are together. And that means the war is about to begin." Layla frowned. "What war?" Kofi answered quietly, "The war between your father and Victor Kane." Suddenly Kofi's phone buzzed. He checked the message. His face turned pale. "What is it?" Amara asked. Kofi looked at them. "Victor's men found your mother." Amara felt a shock. Is she safe? Kofi shook his head slowly. No. They kidnapped her. Nia whispered, he's using her to control us. Kofi nodded. And Victor just sent a message. Amara's voice shook. What message? Kofi showed them the phone. The message said, bring me the 3 sisters, or your mother dies. The sisters looked at each other. For the first time, they realized this was no longer just about the past. Now it was about survival. The alley was silent. The sisters stared at the message on Kofi's phone, bring me the 3 sisters, or your mother dies. Amara felt anger burning inside her. That monster kidnapped her. Nia looked serious. He knew we would try to save her. Layla crossed her arms nervously. So, what do we do? Kofi spoke calmly. We think. Amara shook her head. There is no time to think. She is still our mother. Nia looked at her. Even after what she did? Amara took a deep breath. Yes, because if we become like Victor, then he already wins. Layla looked between them. So we go to him? Kofi quickly shook his head. No, that is exactly what Victor wants. Amara frowned. Then what is your plan? Kofi looked around carefully. Your father has been preparing for this moment. Nia's eyes widened. You mean he knew this day would come? Kofi nodded. Yes, he knew Victor would try to control you. Amara asked, where is he? Kofi pointed down the street. Close. Suddenly headlights appeared at the end of the road. A black van slowly approached. The sisters became tense. But Kofi relaxed. It's him. The van stopped. The door opened. An older man stepped out. Gray hair. Sharp eyes. Amara felt her heart stop. Because the man looked exactly like the photo. Her voice trembled. Dad? The man looked at her with tears in his eyes. Amara. He looked at Nia and Layla. My daughters. For a moment no one spoke. 25 years of silence stood between them. Then Amara ran forward and hugged him. Why did you leave us? The man held her tightly. I never left. I was protecting you. Nia stepped forward slowly. You knew Victor would come for us. He nodded. Yes. Layla asked, what is so special about our DNA? The man sighed. My research discovered something rare. A genetic ability that helps the body heal diseases faster. The sisters looked shocked. So Victor wants to use us to make money, Nia said. The man nodded. Yes. He wants to control that power. Amara clenched her fists. And now he has our mother. Her father looked serious. Yes. And that means we must face him. Nia looked worried. He has guards everywhere. The father opened the van door. Inside were computers and equipment. I have been planning this for years. He looked at his daughters. Tonight we end Victor Kane. Amara asked how. Her father answered quietly. By destroying everything he built. But none of them noticed something dangerous. Layla was standing slightly behind them, secretly sending a message on her phone. The message said only 3 words, I found them. The group sat inside the van. Kofi drove through the dark streets. Amara watched the city lights pass by. Where are we going? She asked. Her father answered, Victor's headquarters. Nia frowned. You want to attack him directly? He nodded. Yes. He is expecting you to come to him. So we will surprise him first. Layla looked quiet in the corner. Her father noticed. Are you okay? She forced a small smile. Yes. But inside, her heart was racing. Because 10 minutes earlier she had sent Victor their location. Outside the van, far away. Victor Kane read the message on his phone. A slow smile appeared on his face. So the 3rd sister finally chose a side. One of his guards asked, Sir, should we prepare? Victor nodded. Yes. Bring the mother to the main room. Back inside the van, the father continued explaining. Victor's company controls hospitals, labs, and research centers. But everything is connected to one main system. Nia asked if we destroy it. He loses everything, the father said. Amara nodded. Good. Kofi suddenly slowed the van. We are close. In the distance stood a huge modern building. Victor Kane's headquarters. Bright lights covered the front. Security guards stood at the gates. Amara whispered, that place looks like a fortress. Her father smiled slightly. That's why we will not use the front door. He opened a hidden panel in the van. Inside were small devices. What are those? Layla asked. Signal disruptors, he said. They will shut down the security system for 3 minutes. Nia nodded. That's enough time to get inside. Amara looked at her sisters. Tonight we end this. But suddenly Layla spoke quietly. There is something I need to tell you. Everyone looked at her. Her voice shook. I sent Victor our location. The van stopped suddenly. Amara stared at her in shock. You what? Nia looked furious. You betrayed us? Layla started crying. I didn't want to. He contacted me months ago. He promised to help me find my real family. The father's face became serious. And when you found us? Layla whispered. He said I must help him bring you to him. Amara felt anger rising again. You led him straight to us. Suddenly bright headlights surrounded the van. Black cars blocked the road. Dozens of armed men stepped out. Victor Kane's voice came from a loudspeaker. Thank you, Layla. You brought them exactly where I wanted. Amara whispered, it's a trap. Victor's voice echoed again. Bring the sisters out. Or the mother dies tonight. The sisters looked at each other. For the first time, they realized the final battle had begun. The road was blocked. Black cars surrounded the van. Armed men stood everywhere. Bright lights blinded the sisters. Victor Kane stepped out of the largest car. He looked calm, confident, like a man who already won. Good evening, Victor said. Amara stepped out of the van first. Let our mother go. Victor smiled. You are not in a position to make demands. 2 guards pulled Mama Grace out of a nearby car. Her hands were tied. She looked weak but alive. Amara, she cried. Amara's heart tightened. Don't worry, Amara said softly. We will get you out. Victor laughed. Still brave. I like that. Nia and Layla stepped out beside her. The 3 sisters stood together. Victor looked at them carefully. 3 rare pieces of the same puzzle. The father stepped forward. Victor, this ends tonight. Victor chuckled. You said that 25 years ago too. Amara looked confused. What happened 25 years ago? Her father took a deep breath. I trusted Victor. He was my business partner. The sisters looked shocked. We worked together to study rare genetics, he continued. But Victor didn't want science. He wanted power and money. Victor smiled proudly. And look how successful I became. The father glared at him. You stole my research. Victor shrugged. Correction. I improved it. Nia asked angrily, so you destroyed our family for money? Victor looked directly at her. For something much bigger. Amara frowned. What could be bigger than billions of dollars? Victor's smile faded. Control. Everyone went silent. Victor spoke slowly. Your DNA can cure diseases, but it can also be used to create treatments only I control. He looked at the sisters. If I control the cure, I control the world. Layla whispered, you're insane. Victor ignored her. Now, give me what I want. Amara stepped forward. You will never control us. Victor sighed. Then your mother dies. He raised his hand. A guard lifted a gun. Mama Grace began crying. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for everything. Amara looked at her. For a moment she remembered her childhood. The hunger. The lies. The pain. But she also saw fear in her mother's eyes. And something changed inside her. Amara suddenly shouted, now. Her father pressed a small device. All the lights around them suddenly went dark. Victor's security system crashed. The disruptors activated. Kofi jumped out and tackled one of the guards. Nia kicked another guard to the ground. Layla ran to free Mama Grace's hands. Amara rushed straight at Victor. Victor tried to escape. But Amara grabbed him and pushed him to the ground. You ruined our lives, she shouted. Victor struggled. You think this ends here? Even if I go to prison, my company will survive. Amara looked at her father. Her father held up a laptop. I already destroyed your system. Victor's face turned pale. All your research files are gone. All your labs are shut down. All your investors just received the truth. Police sirens suddenly echoed in the distance. Victor realized everything was collapsing. No, This cannot be happening. The police cars surrounded the area. Officers ran in and arrested Victor and his guards. The nightmare was finally over. Later that night, the sisters stood together outside the hospital. Mama Grace sat quietly nearby. Tears rolled down her face. "I don't deserve forgiveness," she said softly. Amara looked at her. "No, you don't." Mama Grace lowered her head. "But we will not carry hate forever," Amara continued. Nia nodded. "Hate destroys lives." Layla held both their hands. "For 25 years we were separated. But today we found each other." Their father stepped closer. "And now you decide your future." Amara smiled slightly. "We start a new life." Nia added, "Together." Layla nodded. "As sisters." Mama Grace cried quietly. For the first time in years, she understood the truth. Greed destroyed her family, but love brought it back together. And sometimes, the greatest revenge is not hate. It is choosing to become better than the people who hurt you. Your subscribe and like can make a huge difference for me. It motivates me to keep putting my heart into every story I create. So please support and show your love by subscribing.